What is up, party people? It's Dan, your basement guitar superstar. Today I want to take a look at a brand of guitars. Maybe I'll play it for you a little bit, but I mostly want to talk about them, what I think. When you go on most of the guitar forums on Facebook, there are brand snobs either way. You got your Gibson guys, your Fender guys, your Jackson guys, your Kiesel guys, and they're all great brands. Your Schecter guys, and people that are loyal to certain brands of guitar for this, that, and the other reason. And I'm starting to become that way as well, and here's why. So, before I started doing YouTube videos, I was just playing just for the heck of it, and then I decided, hey, why not create content, do something, give people a channel they can watch where it's an average guitarist talking to them and not a virtuoso musician, right? Well, in doing that and then watching other channels and what they do, I discovered this brand of guitars right here. So let me take this off for you quick. Make sure I don't drop it. I discovered this brand right here. They're called Vintage. They're based in the UK. And they're absolutely amazing. So I feel like I need to give them a shout out. I own this Silver Burst Strat. That's the 25th anniversary edition V6. They're known as. Excuse me. Specifically the V6 HSVB for humbucker Silver Burst. And then I own a V100, which is this model, Ice T Burst. That is actually my buddy Troy Anderson from Anderson Brothers Guitars. He's doing a setup on it for me. And then I have a vintage V100 PBB, which you guys have probably seen the video for on the channel. If you haven't, go watch it. It's pretty cool. It's a great guitar. And then I just had Greg Mallet, my friend from the Guitar Farm in New London, Iowa, order me a vintage V6. I think it's MFR is the model. Maple fretboard, fire ends of red. So it's more of like a red-orange color with a red torch shell pickguard. It looks amazing. A proper Strat, right? Not that the V6 HSVB isn't, but it's an HSS. I wanted one that with 3 single coils, and he is trading me some other stuff for it. So, reason I'm going all in on vintage, and what I mean by going all in, I am actually selling off a bunch of other guitars to replace them with the equivalents from vintage. The reason I'm doing that, folks, is this guitar right here, this 25th anniversary edition, they only made 100 of these. And the craftsmanship and the quality on this is unlike anything I've seen before. And again, Fender, Gibson, all your major brands, they're all great. But this guitar cost me about $650 with shipping from the island of Malta. My buddy Charlie Busatiel. So Charlie, if you're watching, thank you again for hooking me up with this guy. This feels like a $3,000 or $4,000 Gibson to me. I've played a lot of Gibsons, mostly at Guitar Center because that's the big Gibson dealer we have in town. And then I've played a couple of my buddies are into Gibson guitars. This feels as good as one of those, if not better, to me personally. Again, this is just my opinion, guys. If you don't like it, you can take it and throw it out the window. I'm just telling you what I think. But for the money, vintage is, they could charge 3 times what they did for this guitar, and I would happily pay it because they are worth every penny. I mean, this is the best quality to me, at least of the stuff I played so far. And there's several brands that I haven't played a lot of their stuff. Like, for instance, Schecter, I haven't played a ton of. Jackson, I haven't played a ton of because I'm not a metal guitarist per se. But I could pay $650 for something like this and get 3 of them, or I can buy a Gibson custom shop, which to me makes no sense when this, in my mind, and for my skill level, is the absolute equivalent of that. And I can honestly say that about the other ones too. Now, this is a little bit more beefed up in the production just because it's a 25th anniversary and they only made 100 of them. But I can tell you truthfully that my V100 PBB, my V100 IT, the Iced Tea Burst, so the Black Beauty and the Iced Tea Burst are barely a step down from this, right? And every guitar I've bought from them, from vintage so far, from my buddy Greg Mallet at the Guitar Farm, or this, or the Strat, I'm just blown away by the quality. I really am. I don't know, like, owning vintage brand guitars has totally squelched my desire to ever own like a Fender or Gibson custom shop guitar. There's no reason to. If I can get what I feel is the equivalent with vintage and paid $650, $800, I'm going to do that rather than shelling out $3,000. Now, again, I know this is a controversial opinion, but I mean, just look at this thing, guys. Hopefully you could see that on camera. It's got the beautiful, beautiful ivory binding. This silver burst finish is just off the hook. It's on the front and the back. You got Grover tuners on this one. Usually they come with Wilkinson tuners. This is obviously, a little bit more beefed up model, but it does have the Wilkinson pickups in it, which just sing. They sound amazing. But yeah, guys, that's my opinion. I just unloaded 3 Fender guitars and an Epiphone Les Paul, and for other reasons other than wanting to replace them with Fender. But I will own that Strat. Later this year, I am planning on picking up a V65, I think is the model, the one that's supposed to be modeled after the Jazzmaster. I'm planning on picking up a V75 or V57, whatever the Telecaster equivalent is. Planning on picking one of those up. Also planning on picking up an Icon Strat at some point, one of the relic ones, because I played one at the Guitar Farm and they're freaking amazing. So anyway, guys, that's my opinion on vintage guitars. I absolutely love them. If you have not heard of them, please go check them out. Check for your local dealers. Those of you in Iowa that are watching, Greg Mallet from the Guitar Farm in New London carries this brand. He is about 10 miles east of Mount Pleasant, Iowa, so down southeast corner of Iowa, but he does ship all over the place. He shipped me the Black Beauty guitar because I couldn't make it down there for a while. But anyway, guys, this is just it. These guys are hands down the best guitar for the money company right now. I don't care who you are. This is, I mean, I will never, the only reason I would ever sell this, and I think this is probably going to happen, I'm debating between keeping this or keeping the Strat, but if in 5 or 10 years from now these are worth, $3-4 grand, then I'll probably sell one and keep the other one. But I'm going to keep buying vintage guitars because they sound awesome. And they're very versatile. I love the necks on them. It's a little bit thicker. It's not like 50s Les Paul thick, 50s Gibson Les Paul thick, but it's got some nice girth to it. The Strat ones, the neck is absolutely dead perfect for thickness for me on them. Anyway, guys, I have rambled way too long. I will post a link to Vintage's website, Vintage Guitars UK, because they also do custom shop stuff too, which is markedly less than Fender and Gibson and all the other brands' custom shop stuff. So if you're looking for a great guitar that's manufactured, still has the quality control to back it up, Vintage is definitely a great brand. They're definitely a step up from, I think they sound as good as the lower end Gibsons, and I think they sound they blow anything Epiphone has done out of the water, absolutely 100%. So anyway, guys, thank you as always for watching. Again, this is Vintage Guitars. They're doing some amazing stuff. Check them out, support them, watch videos on them. I'll have several up here in the next couple weeks if they aren't already on the channel. As always, thank you for watching and enjoy playing.